A directive from the Securities and Exchange Commission came out. You know, I got the top. They are the overseers of the market, right? Came out with a directive that registrars and companies, that's the issuers now, should return or move unclaimed dividend money 6 years old and above to an investors protection fund, meaning that the money is going to be moving from the custody of the registrar and the paying company to government coffers. So you need to really act fast, because the faster you go, the earlier you're able to claim your dividends. Hello professionals, welcome again to the Stealth Well Show. Our goal on this show is to break down money, mindset, and modern life without any of the boring bits. Am I giving you vacation vibes today? Let me ask. Let's say you find money. Let's just use one small figure, maybe 10 million. 10 million. You just bumped into 10 million naira. What's your favorite vacation spot that you'd like to go? I want to hear in the comment section. Would you go to Zanzibar? Would it be Seychelles? Would it be Maldives? Would it be the Caribbean? Or would you just like to go to the deserts in Dubai? I'd love to know. But today, I'm here to tell you about a gold mine that you never thought existed. We are still on the financial market series, but there's one money somewhere, and I need you to find it. Promise me you will. So, before cryptos, before AI, before Tesla stocks, before all of those things, there was a generation, a time when our parents believed that they can make it through Nigerian stocks. And the same frenzy that happened in 2024, the one we discussed in the last episode, happened coincidentally 2004. Maybe there's something, maybe we should start preparing for 2034 because it's looking like it's a cycle, right? Between 2004 and 2008, a lot happened. You see, the same way you heard buy stock, exercise, assess the future, and all of those things. They heard it. You see, our hype man, that's your big uncle, was out there in every state telling the people of that generation that they should buy shares. I remember my father used to say, you should not Yoruba, why now? But let me interpret. He says, they asked us to buy shares, but then I have a chair in my sitting room. Are you feeling the rhymes? My dad was hilarious like that. But then, people bought. He also bought, but he was smart to have claimed everything that he has. So there was a boom in the market, and people were advised that, see, once you buy these stocks, it's life transforming, it's a transformation, you invest your money and you're going to get rich. In fact, the get rich scheme of that time was the market, and people bought into it. When they say people came en masse, all the money that they have been saving, then people were not going on vacation now. All the monies that they've been saving, they just dumped it in it. But guess what? Something happened. The bubble busted. The excitement crashed. What was an excitement just a few years ago became an object of heartbreak. Several people lost their lives when they heard the new value of their stocks. But nobody explained to them that there was still hope. Imagine investing 80 million in a stock and they tell you that the new value is 200,000. How do you explain it? Your hard-earned savings that you had planned to send all your children to school is gone. Ow! And that was what happened during the market crash. But guess what? Many people just walked away from the market. They weren't knowledgeable. They don't know what happened. Some people passed. Some people are still alive with diseases that came with it. Walking away meant something. And that is what I'm here to share with you. The fact that they walked away didn't mean the shares walked away from them. The shares actually stood with them. Through thick and thin. And it is still there today. And that's the good news I bring to you today. Whoosh! The markets rallied again. Came up. The stocks were still there, except you have a few companies that delisted along the line. But many of those companies are actually still in existence today. And what happened was, year on year, the companies declared dividends, which is part of the activities that happen on the capital market, because the return or the reward on those investments that were made was dividends. And year on year, as they declared dividends, because the owners of the shares that yielded the dividend were not forthcoming, they became unclaimed. So, imagine that there is, I don't even know how many billions to quantify, but honestly, there's billions in the market. Google it. Ask Google that how much unclaimed dividend is in the Nigerian financial markets. You see the numbers, your heart will palpitate for some seconds. The reason I'm here is some of these monies might have your family names tied to it. Your grandfather, your father, your uncle, your aunt, and they're not just interested. Imagine that they bought at 14 naira and the stock is now about 70 naira. The difference, that's what we call capital appreciation. That means your value have increased over the period of time, and that's value to you. And the dividends that have accrued on this money, that's the reward on that money that year, right? Is sitting down within the Nigerian financial system somewhere, waiting for you to wake up and come and claim it. You ask me, so Oga, tell us, how do we claim this money? Jare, this story is becoming too plenty. Yes, I'll tell you. But there might be a couple of things you need to regularize depending on how the stocks were bought. Because there were a couple of mistakes that generation also made, like buying with multiple names, wrong spellings of their names, and somebody buying for another person, and all of that. So when you're doing your search, the link is showing on the screen right now for you to get where to search from. It's on the SEC web. Go there. Every name, every name that you know your father, your mother, your uncle, your aunt, or whoever you think could have bought stocks at that time has. Use it to search on that website. I am sure you would find a thing or two. When you find those names, next thing you need to know is who is the registrar. Remember we talked about the record keeper, that's the mommy of the family in the last episode. If you've not watched that episode, the link is right there on the screen. You can watch it so that you understand what we're talking about. So the registrar keeps the record so he knows who has bought and who has not claimed his or her dividend because they are also in charge of dividend payments. Get the registrar. List of registrar is also attached on the screen in that link. Get the list of registrars that corresponds with the shares that your parent bought and visit them. When you get your registrars, they will tell you specific instructions, but on a high level, if the issue with the account or with your stock or your family stock is that the name is irregular, you might need to regularize the name. You might need them to sign the signature they signed that year if they are still alive. You might also need to get their stockbrokers to prepare. You know stockbrokers now, the brother, that hype man that goes to the streets to also, yeah? They would help you process something they call the CSCS transfer form. You remember that CSCS we had talked about earlier? So they process a form for you that would show the signature of the beneficiary. As far as you are able to prove that your family member or your father, your mother, whoever owns the shares, be sure that you're going to get your unclaimed dividends, right? So as soon as you do that, they give you a form, although there's a link enabled by the NIBS. NIBS is Nigerian Interbank Settlement Systems to facilitate e-mandate submission. The link is also showing on the screen right now. You would use the link to complete the e-mandate form, right? Once you complete your e-mandate form, your dividends will be credited to the beneficiary's bank account, not your bank. Do you think it will come to you? No. But at least, you don't do work now. That's the value I'm talking about. You provide value, you get paid. Negotiate with your parents or whoever you just helped facilitate the process. Collect, how many percent? Collect 50-50. Share it like that. The proceed, they should go and sell the stock. They'll get their money back, right? Well, that's it. It's you providing value, you have provided value, and you need to get paid for it, right? So, as soon as you get the income, you're home and dry. Go for your vacation. But there's one more leg. If you have parents who are now deceased, meaning that they are dead, sorry, 1 minute silence for the departed soul. Anyways, if they are late, what you need to do now is find out who their lawyers are. If they had a will, right? If they had a will, it would have been deposited with people that they call the probate registry. I'm not here to bore you. Just find the lawyer. When you find the lawyer, he will tell you every other thing. But on a high level, you need letters of administration. If they don't have a will, you might need to process a probate documentation, and that would help you to come and claim all the estates. They would list on that letter of administration all the estate. That means all the property of your parents on that particular document. And these shares we're talking about would also be listed on it. And with that, you are able to process. You'd open an estate account, a bank account in the estate name, the estate of Sanusi Fafunwa, or whatever your family name is, and you claim your dividends. And yeah, you're just right there, Ebola. Let me give you a quick update. In recent times, in fact, I think the policy came out, the directive, a directive from the Securities and Exchange Commission came out. You know, the I got the top. They are the overseers of the market, right? Came out with a directive that registrars and companies, that's the issuers now, should return or move unclaimed dividend money 6 years old and above to an investors protection fund, meaning that the money is going to be moving from the custody of the registrar and the paying company to government coffers. So you need to really act fast, because the faster you go, the earlier you're able to claim your dividends. You know, Yoruba people will say, "Koma ba dariyanjiyan," so that it will not turn to arguments. Run, search for your dividends, run to your registrars, claim your dividends, get your stockbrokers to sell the shares if you want to, and go and relax in Santorini. Imagine your grandma that bought stocks or that won a giveaway but didn't remember to drop bank account. How will her money get to her now? Now wetin happen with that oh? So, Oga, when you collect giveaway prize, remember to drop your bank account. And if you have also participated in the 2024 offer of any of the organizations that have come out recently, or you have bought shares via your stockbroker, your application, and you're not receiving your dividends, please get across to your registrar, find out who they are, get across to your registrar, fill the e-mandate form, and regularize your account today. It is very, very important, because you cannot just be investing for other people to come and eat the seed and proceeds of your investment. I hope you've learned one thing or two. This episode, the call to action is that you can get your gold wherever it is in the mind. Have a good day. Like, share. Share this one though. You feel a safe person. Do you understand? Don't let your parents' hard-earned money go without being claimed. So share and subscribe. Until I see you next time. Peace.